Hello everyone, and welcome to Rapa Nui. My name is Josefina Nahoe, and I've been a guide here in Rapa Nui for over 20 years. It's going to be my pleasure today to introduce you to the amazing archaeological site of Tahai. This ancient ceremonial site is located right in the center of the modern township of Hangaroa, and as a result, provides the living descendants of this amazing legacy a constant reminder of its past. Tahai is the second archaeological site to have been restored on the island. It was restored from 1968 to 1974. That restoration was led by the American archaeologist, Dr. William Malloy, a man that I refer to as Grandpa. It's important to note that the Rapa Nui National Park was not only recognized as a national monument as early as the 1930s, but was also declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in March of 1995. Are you ready? Let's go. We're now standing in front of the Ahu Tahai. The moai that we see here at Tahai is thought to be one of the older statues at this site. And if we take a closer look, we'll notice that it is not in the best of condition. A lot of weathering and erosion has taken place on this statue. 95% of all of the statues were carved from the volcanic tuft of the volcano of Ranuraraku. Ranuraraku is a volcanic cone that is located about 15 kilometers from here. The volcanic tuft is a conglomerate rock that is made up mostly of volcanic ash. Ash that has settled and compressed on other pieces of previously formed volcanic stone. If we look very carefully at the neck of the statue here, we'll see a piece of basalt that is protruding from the tuft. This is one of these types of inclusions. After hundreds of years of weathering and erosion, we only see a small glimpse of the glory of these statues. That is why we are so concerned about preservation and conservation. The restoration of many of these sites has helped tremendously in the preservation of the sites, but it's also important for us to educate our visitors, to remind them not to stand on platforms or any other archaeological object, and definitely no touching. Here at the Ahu Vaiuri, we have the opportunity to appreciate how carving changed over time. Statues got taller, and they also changed in their style. As you can imagine, when the first Polynesian settlers arrived to the island, they didn't immediately jump off their canoes and begin to carve huge statues. But instead, they were carving smaller statues. Statues that in many cases were more human-like in their style. Rounder heads, more curves to their bodies. These statues are very similar to statues that we see in other parts of Polynesia. After settlement was complete, they had more time to dedicate to their carving, and so we start to see that statues begin to double in their height. But their style is still very crude and very block-like. You'll notice that these statues have heads that are nearly as wide as their shoulders and their bodies. These statues have not gotten very tall yet, but they're extremely heavy. Later statues continue to focus on the height, so we see the statues getting taller, but now they're very elongated. As a result, they're much lighter and easier to transport. You'll also notice that these statues have a lot more detail, fine detail in the carving. Carving has evolved at this point. These are the statues that people think of when they think of the moai of Easter Island. In most cases, they stand anywhere between 4 to 5 meters in height and weighed anywhere between 12 and 13 tons. Most of the statues that were carved on the island are of this type. They represent the peak of the moai carving era. The last of the statues carved on the island, which are not represented here at Vaiuri, are when the huge statues of Easter Island were carved. And these statues, some of the transported ones, were measured at over 10 meters in height and over 90 tons. The largest statue that was ever attempted is still abandoned at the quarry of Ranuraraku and was measured at 21 meters. Had it been finished, it may have had a weight of as much as 180 to 200 tons. I hope that you enjoyed your visit to one of the most unique man-made wonders of the world. It is a place where amazing navigators arrived and established a tradition of powerful sculpture and monument without any external influences. We hope to be able to share more of this amazing culture with you sometime very soon.